Okay, so once again, good morning to everyone. So we all were discussing the chapter that is metals and non-metals, right? So in our previous class, what we have learned, let us see. So in our previous class, we have learned about the physical properties of metal by conducting various activities. So we have seen activity 3.1 to 3.6, right? So in that, what we have learned, we have seen that metals they are hard. Okay. Then we have seen that metals are lustrous, means they are having the shiny surface. Then metals they are sonorous, means it is producing the sound. Then metals they are ductile, which means they can be drawn into wires. Then metals are malleable, it means they can be beaten into thin sheets. Then metals are good conductor of heat and metals are good conductor of electricity. So these all property that is physical properties of metal we have seen in the activities that is from activity 3.1 to 3.6, right? We have seen all those properties. Now moving to the next part. Yes, moving to the next part that is non-metals. So we have learned various metals, okay, and we have known about various non-metals also, and we have learned some of the non-metals. So in our previous class, we have learned some of the non-metals. So some examples are carbon, sulfur, iodine, oxygen, hydrogen, etc. Yes. So I have asked you a question that name the non-metal which you inhale. Yes, which is that non-metal which you inhale?
Oxygen.
Oxygen. And name the non-metal which you exhale.
Carbon dioxide.
Carbon. Okay, that is carbon dioxide. Okay, so these are the non-metals which we use in our day-to-day life. Yes.
Sir, that carbon dioxide is not a this not metal.
Actually, it is a compound. Yes, carbon dioxide. It is a compound. It is a combination of two elements. That is carbon plus oxygen.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
it is a
But
combination.
carbon is non-metal.
Carbon is a non-metal. Yes, carbon it is a non-metal. Now,
Yes, sir.
the non-metals are either solids or gaseous in state. Okay, there are so many non-metals are there. They are either in the form of solid state or in the form of gaseous state. But there is one non-metal that is bromine, which is in liquid state. Okay, so
Yes.
we have learned about metals also. So can you tell me a metal which is in a liquid state at room temperature? Name a metal.
Mercury. So mercury.
Yes,
Mercury.
very good. So
Mercury.
mercury, it is a metal which is liquid at room temperature, and this mercury, it is used. Yes, where it is used?
Thermometer.
Yes, it is used in the
Thermometer.
thermometer. Very good. Okay.
Thermometer.
So these are like your neat questions, or in the competitive exams, they will ask you that name the metal which is liquid in state and name the non-metal which is liquid in state. So at that time, you have to be sure about it. Okay. Now we have learnt about the various
So these are exceptions. No?
exceptions. Okay. Now there are various metals are properties we have learned. Okay, that is luster, hardness, sonorous, malleability, ductility, etc. Now these all physical properties of metals, whether they are similar to non-metals also. Now we have to find out. Okay, so let us see. So there is an activity 3.7. In this activity, we are going to see that whether the properties of metals are same with that of non-metals. So in this, you have to collect the samples of carbon. Okay, so we can't obtain the carbon from atmosphere directly. So we are having some samples such as coal or graphite. So these are easily available. Sulfur, we obtain it in the form of powder. Iodine, it is available at home also. Okay, so we have to collect the samples of carbon, then sulfur and iodine. Next, we have to carry out the activities 3.1 to 3.6 with these non-metals and record your observations. So what we have done in 3.1 and 3.6 up to 3.6, First, we have taken the sample, we have hammered them, right? Then, what we have done, we have taken the samples, we have drawn them into wires. Then, third activity, we have taken the sample and we tried to rub it with the help of sandpaper. Then, fourth activity, we have taken the sample and we banged it to produce the sound. Then, fifth activity, we had taken the sample and tried to pass the current through it. Okay, we have tried to pass the current through it by using the circuit connection. And one more activity, we have tried to supply the heat through it. Yes, whether we have done this activity with the case of metal. Yes, we have learned those.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now the same activities
Yes, sir.
we have to carry out with this. Okay, take carbon or sulfur or iodine and hammer it with the help of hammer. Now what will happen to this? Yes,
Sir, form into thin sheets.
carbon. Okay, that is coal is there. Okay, now you are given coal. Okay, and if I will give you a hammer and I will ask you to ham it. Now do you think that coal will convert into thin sheets?
No, sir.
No,
It will
sir.
not convert.
Turn it.
It will turn into
They
powder.
will.
Yes, very good, it will turn into powder. Now what about sulfur? Now sulfur powder is there.
Yes, sir.
So it cannot be converted into thin sheets. The same case with iodine. Okay. Now, do you think this carbon, sulfur, or iodine they will produce any sound?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No. Okay. Now, can you convert this carbon, sulfur, and iodine into wires?
No, sir.
No,
No.
sir.
Okay.
No, sir, we
Now,
can't.
yes, very good. Now, can you use this sulfur? Yes.
Sir, can we say that the substances which have carbon in it can be used as a fuel?
The substance which is having carbon, they can be used as a fuel. Most probably, because you might have heard about combustion. What is that combustion? Can you tell me?
Burning process.
Yes, it is a burning process. So any fuel which burn in the presence of oxygen to emit carbon dioxide. Okay, so those we can say say as this one, that is fuel.
Fuels.
Okay, but I don't think that the things or the substances which is having carbon can be used as fuel. For example, diamond. Okay, can we use diamond as a fuel?
No, sir.
No. So we can't say that most of the substances which is having carbon can be used as fuel. But apart from that, graphite it can be used, but not as a fuel to conduct the electricity. Okay, we are going to learn about that also. So when we carry out activity 1.3 to activity 3.6, most of the observation what we are getting is opposite to metals. Okay, so in activities from 3.1 to 3.6, we studied various properties of metal, that is luster, hardness, malleability, ductility, electric conductivity, and heat conductivity. These all are the properties of metals. So these properties are absent in the case of non-metals. Okay. Now here we are having a table number 3.1. So in this you have to take the samples. Which sample? Coal, graphite, sulfur, and iodine. That we have to write in the element. Then we have to write down their symbol. Then we have to write down the type of surface, hardness, malleability, ductility. Then in conduction we are having two columns, that is heat and electricity. Then sonority. Okay. Now can you tell me what is the symbol of carbon?
C.
C. Very good. Very good. Now what is the symbol of sulfur?
Yes.
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 Yes, very good. Now what is the symbol of iodine?
I.
Yes, very good. Okay, so the symbol of carbon is C, sulfur is S, and iodine is S. So what we have to do in the element column, we have to write all the elements which we have taken. Then in symbol column, we have to write the symbol of all the elements. Then the type of surface. Now, can you tell me the type of surface of carbon, that is coal or graphite?
Not
Not.
just. But what is
Non-lustrous.
not? lustrous.
Non-lustrous. Okay. Next, about hardness.
Hard.
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 If you ham it with the help of hammer, then what will happen?
It will break.
It will
Break.
break. Then we can't say it is a hard. Yes, we can't say it is a hard.
Sir,
It is
Sir,
called
what?
as brittle.
no.
Okay, it
Yes,
is.
sir. No.
Yes, it is called as brittle. So when you ham it, it will turn into powder or it will break into small pieces. Okay. Then malleability, can we form the thin sheets?
No, sir.
No,
No.
sir.
So non-malleable.
No, sir.
What about ductility?
No, sir.
No.
No,
Okay.
sir.
Not,
So
no,
non-ductile.
sir.
Then conduction, heat and electricity?
No, sir.
No. So they
No,
are
sir.
poor conductor
No,
of
sir.
heat, poor conductor of electricity. Then what about sonorous?
No, sir. No, sir.
Then
No, sir.
non-sonorous. Okay. So this is our table. So let's see our observation. So I hope you got the same observation. So
Yes, sir.
in the case of graphite,
Yes, sir.
symbol is C. Very good. You give the correct answer for that. And you said that it is a non-lustrous. Very good. Then hardness, yes, they are hard, but it is called as brittle. Okay. It is hard, but it is called as brittle. Malleability, no. Ductility, no. Conducts electricity, yes. In case of graphite, okay,
Yes.
graphite, it conducts electricity. So you might have seen the battery or cells which we are using in torch or alarm clocks or any other sorry, instruments. Okay, so in that we are using graphite. Yes. Okay, so
But
most
non-metals are allotropy.
sorry, you are not audible. What you said?
Sir, they show allotropy.
Allotropy. Yes, very good. So they show the allotropy. Okay. So over here, graphite, it conducts electricity, but it do not conduct heat. Now in the case of coal, okay, coal, it is also non-lustrous, but it is hard, that is brittle. It is non-malleable, non-ductile. It doesn't conduct electricity. It doesn't conduct heat. Okay. Coal, it doesn't conduct heat. Now you might have seen that we are having coal. Okay, we burn it. Okay, burning is different and conducting heat is different. Okay, so you might be having a confusion that we are using coal as a fuel. That is true. Okay, but it is not used as a conducting electricity. Then next, sulfur. Sulfur, it is in the form of powder. So non-lustrous, hardness, no. Malleability, no. Ductility, no. Conducts heat and electricity, no. No. Iodine. In the case of iodine, its type of surface is lustrous. Okay, you might have seen the iodine. Okay, crystals are there. So those crystals are lustrous. Hardness, no, because we are having the crystals. Malleability, no. Ductility, no. Conducts heat and electricity, no. Okay, so this is our observation for the samples which we have taken. Okay.
Sir, diamond it has a lustrous surface.
Yes, diamond, it is having a lustrous surface. It is very hard also. Okay,
Yes, sir.
it is very hard also. Very good.
But it reflects the light, no?
Yeah, it reflects the light. Okay, now on the basis of observations which we have recorded now, okay, so you have seen the observations. So based on that, we have seen the physical properties of metals and the physical properties of non-metal. Okay, now based on these observations, we are having some exceptions. Okay, as you have said, we are having some exceptions. For example, totally we are having 4 exceptions. So let us see the first one. All metals except mercury exist as solid at room temperature. Okay, so we know that all the metals are solid in state, but mercury, it is liquid in state. In activity 3.5, you have observed that metals have high melting point, but gallium and caesium have very low melting points. These two metals will melt if you keep them on your palm. Now see, in activity 3.5, that is a good conductor of heat. Okay, that is metals conduct heat. Okay, that was our activity 3.5. In that, what we have seen that metals, they are having high melting point. Okay, but there are two metals, that is gallium and caesium. Okay, so these are the two metals which are having low melting point. such that if you take these metals in your palm also, sorry, on your palm also, they will melt down easily. Now see here, this is a GIF of gallium.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that is a,
Gallium.
yes, that is gallium metal. If you take it in your palm, on your palm also, see how it is getting melt. It is converted into liquid state. The solid state is converted into liquid state. I hope it is clearly visible to everyone. Yes.
Sir, it becomes hard when mixed with nitrogen, no?
Yes, it becomes hard when we use liquid nitrogen. Okay, so this is the first exception. Okay, now moving to your next exception. Iodine, it is a non-metal, but it is a lustrous. So we know that non-metals, they are non-lustrous, right? They don't shine. But there is a non-metal, that is iodine. It is showing the property of metal, that is lustrous. So here it is a iodine. Okay, it is having a shiny surface. When you Google it, that iodine in the Google. Okay, so you will find that there is a black iodine. Okay, black colored iodine. Even that is also lustrous. Okay, so this is pure form of iodine. Next, third exception, carbon. It is a non-metal that can exist in different forms. Each form is called as allotrope. Okay, so as you said, carbon is the element which can exist in various forms. So that is called as allotrope. So definition of allotrope is allotropes are two or more forms of the same element existing in the same physical state, either solid, liquid, or gas, that differ from each other in their physical and sometimes also in chemical properties. Now, see element carbon. Okay, that element, it can exist in various physical state. Okay, so here we are having three states of matter, that is solid state, liquid state, and gaseous state. Okay, now this physical properties, it may be same also, it may be different also. Similarly, the chemical properties, it may be same also, it may be different also. Okay, for example, carbon. This carbon, we get it in the solid state, that is graphite. When this carbon mixes with oxygen, it becomes carbon dioxide, that is a gaseous state. So see, carbon, it is the same element, it is having different allotropes. It exists in solid also, liquid also, and gaseous also. Okay, so here we are having example of diamond. Diamond, an allotrope of carbon, is the hardest natural substance known and has a very high melting and boiling point. Graphite, another allotrope of carbon, is a conductor of electricity. So here we have taken two substances, okay, two materials which are made up of carbon. So first one is diamond, second one is graphite. So diamond, it is an allotrope of carbon, that is, it is made up of carbon. It is very hard substance, okay, which is the property of a metal, and it is having very high melting point and boiling point. Again, it is the property of metal. Then graphite, it is having a shiny surface as well as it is a good conductor of electricity. So here you can see the picture of diamond and graphite. Okay, so this both, they are made up of carbon. Okay, they are made up of carbon, but these two, it shows the properties similar to as metals. Okay, not every, each and every properties, only few properties. Okay, now moving to your fourth exception, that is alkali metals. Okay, alkali
What
metals,
is the definition for diamond?
what happened?
Sir, chemical formula for diamond.
Chemical formula for diamond, actually even I don't know. I'll just let you know if I found that. Okay,
Okay, sir.
but there is a what you can say, not structural formula, but there is a formation. Okay, in your chapter carbon and its compound, there is a formation of that is structure of diamond is there, that how carbons, they bond together to form a diamond shape. Okay, that is there.
Yes.
Okay, as per, I think it don't have a formula. If it is there, I'll let you know. Okay,
Sir, it's C.
carbon only actually. It's
Yes,
C.
sir.
It's
So
carbon.
capital C it is.
Yes, capital C.
Sir, normal carbon will be C6. I think diamond will be
Same only
C7 or
because it is the only element which forms the diamond. Okay, so what happens? All the carbon when they uh, bond together, it forms the diamond. So I think in Neptune planet there is a diamond rain. Okay, so because of this, that they all bond together. Okay, fourth exception is alkali metals. So lithium, sodium, potassium are so soft that they can be cut with the knife. They have low densities and low melting point. Now see here, these are the three metals which shows the properties of non-metal. Okay, these are the three metals which shows the property of non-metal. We know that metals are very hard, but see, lithium, sodium, potassium, they are soft and they can be cut with the help of knife. Then metals, they are having high density and high melting point. But these three metals, they are having low density and low melting point. So you can see here, there is a picture of sodium, which can be cut with the help of knife. Okay. I think in our previous class we had discussed that whenever you are using this sodium metal or lithium or potassium, you are not supposed to touch it with the help with the bare hands. So can you tell me why you are not supposed to touch it?
Sir, it is highly reactive.
Highly reactive.
Yes, it is highly reactive. Very good. Yes.
Sir, it can burn our hand.
Yes, it can burn. Okay, when it comes into contact with water, it bursts off. Okay, it explodes. So to avoid that explosion or any accident, we use a pair of tongs to hold it, and with the help of knife, we cut it. Okay, and it is always placed on a paper or a tissue paper or filter paper. Okay, it is not supposed to be kept anywhere. So that was
Sir,
our
it is
yes.
sir, it is also placed in kerosene.
Yes, it is always stored in kerosene. Okay, it is not kept outside or anywhere. It is always stored in kerosene. And can you tell me a non-metal which is kept in water? A non-metal which is always kept in water. If you take out that non-metal, no, it will explode. It will catch fire. Again, it is neat question or JEE question. There is a non-metal which is always stored in water to avoid explosion. Okay.
No idea.
Okay, I'll just give the
Sir,
symbol.
phosphorus.
Yes, phosphorus is the correct answer. Okay. Moving to the next activity, activity 3.8. In this activity, you have to take magnesium ribbon and some sulfur powder. Okay. Then burn the magnesium ribbon, collect the ashes, form, and dissolve them in water. Uh, whether you have seen this activity, burning of magnesium ribbon,
Yes, sir.
where?
Yes.
Yes.
In which chapter?
Yes, sir.
In your first chapter, that is
Hmm.
burning of magnesium ribbon. Okay, so what is that reaction called as? Yes, burning of magnesium ribbon. What kind of reaction it is? Decomposition, displacement, combination, exothermic.
Sir, combination.
Very good. That is combination reaction. Why it is combination
Combination.
reaction? Because magnesium plus oxygen gives you magnesium oxide. Okay.
The single product is formed by two reactants.
Yes. So when you burn the magnesium ribbon, what happens? Again, this is like one more question.
Magnesium oxide is formed.
Magnesium oxide, that is a product, but what is your observation?
It turns to powder.
Again, that is the product which you form, but what is the observation? What do you observe when you burn the magnesium ribbon?
Sir, very high light.
Yes, white flame, that is dazzling light is obtained.
White
Okay.
ash.
Yes. So when you burn the magnesium ribbon, white dazzling light is seen. Okay.
White.
Yes. Then you have to collect the ash and dissolve that ash into water. Okay. Then test the resultant solution with both red and blue litmus paper. So here what we have done, we have taken the magnesium ribbon, we have burnt it, then we have obtained the ashes, collect that ash, dissolve it in water. Okay. Then test the resultant solution with the help of blue litmus paper and red litmus paper. Okay. Now the same activity you had to carry out with sulfur also. Okay. So see here. Now burn sulfur powder. Place a test tube over the burning sulfur to collect the fumes produced. Add some water to the above test tube and shake. Then test the solution with blue and red litmus paper. Is the product formed on burning sulfur is acidic or basic? Can you write
Sir,
equations for these reactions? Yes.
sir, it is basic.
Yes, it is basic. We'll just find out. Now see here, what we have done, we have taken magnesium ribbon, we have burnt it. Okay, so what is that first GIF shows? There's a magnesium ribbon, we have hold it with a pair of tongs, okay, to avoid any accident or any damage to the hand. So when we burn it, we obtain by dazzling flame. Okay, now we have to collect the ash. Now that ash is dissolved in water and we have to check it whether it is a acidic solution or basic solution with the help of litmus paper. Now the same activity you have to carry out with sulfur. Okay. See, we are burning sulfur over there, but the thing is that you have to cover that sulfur. Okay. Why we have to cover that sulfur over here? Such that the gas which is produced, okay, that has to be collected. Okay. In your class 8th, in 8th standard you have learned this activity. Yes, whether you have learned or not. Take a
Excuse me, sir, you are getting stuck between.
No, sir, your voice is breaking.
okay. Okay, now
Sir, your voice is breaking.
just a minute. Okay, what about now? Am I audible? Hello?
Sir, your voice is breaking.
Okay, just a minute. Okay, what about now?
No, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
Yes,
here,
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then it's audible, but
yes.
in between you are not.
Okay, now see here. This activity, burning of sulfur, you have conducted this in 8th standard. Okay, here what we have done, we have taken a test tube. In that test tube, we have collected sulfur. Okay, and we have burnt it. Okay, then the gases which is produced, you have to collect it in another test tube. Okay, you have to collect the gases in another test tube.
Sir,
And what happened?
Sir,
you are not audible.
excuse me, sir, your voice.
Okay, what about
Excuse me, sir, you are not audible.
okay?